Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton and we're going to talk about qualifying for the State Round Classic Tournament, the first tournament that's happened since Golf Clash has implemented the new win changes. So let me cover that real quick and let me tell you why you should still follow me. And if you're brand new to my channel, let me give you a couple of reasons to subscribe if you haven't already done so. First of all, every single drop is going to be crucial more than ever in qualifying. We need to have the best qualifying score that we can because we're going to see a lot more ties. Now, it used to be you could dial in shots, and the game has taken that away, and I do think it's a great thing. I think it makes the game fair, or more fair, I should say. I think it makes people play on their feet and have to adjust on the fly, which I really like. But because you're not going to be able to dial in shots the way that you used to be able to, you're going to see more ties. You're going to see more people have the same score. So therefore, we're going to have to rely on our tiebreaker more now than ever. And the reason you should follow me is because, one, I do this for free. Okay, I do rely on donations. Other people who do this have already upped their membership fees, or they stopped doing Rookie and Pro for free, and you have to be a member to get that content. I'm going to continue to do it for free as long as I get, good donations through my PayPal, my Cash App, however you want to do it. Let me know in the comments. But secondly, my detail is going to be even better than before because now we're going to talk about every make and every miss in every single round. So my workload has increased a little bit, but here's what I will tell you. You need to be patient, okay? I know I'm getting this video out very early on Monday on day one. It's because I had a good qualifying day. I'm very comfortable with all these holes because they used to be on Tour 6 or on Tour 8. Two tours that I used to grind non-stop. So I'm very comfortable with how the greens roll. Some little tips and tricks that we're going to get into. But regardless, wait for me to play, okay, if you can, and then play after me because it's gonna benefit you a couple different ways. One, you're gonna get to see the wind on every single hole. And remember, qualifying, we all have the same wind. Round 2, the wind changes on the front 9 and back 9, and same thing for round 3. So if you wait for me to play, you will be able to see what I'm doing, what the wind is, and when I miss, okay, we're going to talk about what you should do. That way you can get the drop. So in theory, I expect everybody who watches my videos to shoot better than me as long as you hit perfect, because we're going to talk about what we need to readjust whenever we miss. So there it is. That's my plan, okay? My plan for future videos is on qualifying. I'm going to get all my videos out by Tuesday afternoon. That's my goal, okay? And then in the next round, my goal is to get everything out the night of day one. So I'm going to leave everybody at least a full 24 hours to play your second round. And then that's my plan with the final round as well. So if you're one of those people who's used to getting on there and playing as soon as you can, don't. You need to wait until I'm done so that you can get yourself set up with the absolute best scenario to win the tournament, because these things are going to be a lot harder to win than they ever were before. So with that being said, thank you for watching. We're going to go into the replays. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Please hit the like button. And if you like my content, if you understand the time it takes to do this, please donate to my channel. That goes a long way for me. It's so much appreciated. I put a link to my PayPal in the comments. I've got Cash App. I've got Venmo. I've got every way you can do it. So just let me know in comments if you got something else other than, a Cash App or PayPal. So here we go. Minus 14 on this account, minus 14 on my other account. And I'll show you the scorecard on that one. Now, hole number 1 is an easy drop, okay, in qualifying with the wind that they're giving us. So that's an extra eagle. Hole number 5, that is a hole that a lot of people will not eagle. I'm going to tell you how to get the eagle on it. I've shown it to you in previous tournaments past, and I used the same thing that I did from my other videos. I went back and studied some tape. I was able to get hole number 5 on both accounts, As you can see on this account, I got the hole-in-one on hole number 7. The only reason I didn't get it on my other one is because I hit a great shot. And unfortunately, on this account, I picked up a birdie on hole 9, which is a par 5. Now, a lot of people are going to birdie that hole, okay? So that's not the worst thing in the world. But on my other account, I did pick up the eagle on hole number 9. So you can see the scorecard here. Again, we got hole number 1, we got hole number 5. I missed hole number 7 due to a great shot. And then hole number 9, I picked up the eagle on this one, which is like an extra drop in this tournament because it's a very long par 5. So hole number 1, let's dive right into it. So, we're going to talk about the wind on this one, okay? Because they're giving us tailwind, and even if we got crosswind, we can drive green in this situation. But you need to know this is 20% elevation, and let me show you how to get up to the top here. I use a Kingmaker. Now, you don't have to use a Kingmaker. I only did that one to reduce the wind, and the reason that I wanted to reduce the wind is because the wind is blowing opposite of the pin. You see the wind's blowing from left to right. I'm sorry, from right to left. We'd rather it being blown left to right. So in this situation, we're going to pull 20%. We're going to push back up to max. And, you don't need to use a lot of overpower. As a matter of fact, you don't want to use too much overpower combined with too much topspin because once you hit the green, you could roll all the way through and past the rough. Now, with this particular account, I hit a great left shot. So, of course, I come into the left-hand side of the green here. But obviously, this is a very simple wedge shot to pick up the eagle. Now, here's a better drive. All right, so that last one was 3.9 wind. You can see we got 2.1. Now, you can also see that I'm only using 4.5 bars of topspin. So if you have an extra mile, 5, 6, 7, that's max topspin for you. That's fine. Don't go too much more than 4.5 top. And you do want to go full right side spin. And like I said here, I'm just using a little bit of overpower. You can see I'm using quite a bit of curl, like 80% curl to the right with an extra mile. And this is really the shot that you're looking for, as this thing comes in really nice. But you can see there that green gives you a little extra roll, which is why I say be very wary of your topspin and overpower. And obviously very simple shots to chip that in. This is the first one where I was much more to the left-hand side of the green. But, you drop that in for an eagle. That's a great way to start the tournament on a par 4. And you will see some people mess this hole up. This isn't an automatic eagle, although it will be for you and I. But you will see people mess this hole up. Now, okay, here is hole number 2. Now, this is going to be why it's important, to let me play before you play. Because I have 2 rookie accounts. And that means I'm going to get a few looks at each hole. And I'm going to help you dial in your shot. So right here, 10% is our elevation. And let's take a look at the spin adjustment real quick because the spin right here is good. We're going to use 2 bars of backspin. Now, because I've played this shootout literally thousands of times in Tour 8, I know that with this wind angle, the ball is going to kick to the right-hand side. That is why you see me offset my ball guidelines so far to the left. See, these little details you're going to get with me. So take a look at where I'm aiming. All right. So notice that my ball guideline right here is in that dark green row. So the tip of my ball guideline is kind of in the middle of it. So that dark green row that's to the left-hand side of the cup, that's where my offset point is. Now, I do pull this one at 10% elevation, as you saw in the graphic. I am using medium distance of my backbone. I thought when we got that camera angle, it was going to be a hole-in-one, but that's obviously very close for you guys to go out there and get it. So what do we need to do now that we missed? Well, let's take a look at this reference point that we have right here, right? Right there. All you need to do is you just need to move that a smidge more to the right because you notice that I rolled the cup on the left-hand side. Move this one a smidge more to the right, and you're going to be very good opportunity for the hole-in-one. So there you go. All right, now hole number 3, I'm going to give you 2 different ways to play it. If you're somebody who likes to play a little bit safer, then this shot is for you. If you like to gamble a little bit, I'm going to show you how I'm going to be playing this particular hole. But here, you can use a quarterback. And the only thing I don't like about this shot is that the trees get in your way. And I do want you to use a power 3 ball. It's up to you if you want to use a Titan or Kingmaker. I'm choosing a Kingmaker because I want as much left side spin as possible on this shot. And, you are going to want to do a bag change if you're doing this. You're going to want to play with a quarterback and a big dog. That's going to be very important for shot number 2. But your ultimate goal here is to use curl and left side spin and get yourself in this area. Shot number 2 is going to be played with negative elevation. It's going to be played minus 10%. And what you're going to want here is to use quite a bit of backspin combined with a little bit of right side spin. And you're not playing this for an albatross. You're playing this to get the ball onto the green. Now, what I don't like about this is these trees right here get in your way. As you can see there, my ball guideline got cut off, and I didn't want to risk hitting the bushes. So I moved my target even more to the left-hand side. Just to avoid the trees. And that just pushes you a little bit too close to the rough on the left-hand side. But we still kicked it up on the green, no problem. This isn't my favorite hole in the game. This is a little bit of a tougher one, but that's one way you can play it. Now, I'm going to be playing it this way. Now, as you can see, this time I used a Titan. And the reason I use a Titan is because I did not want to reduce the wind. I wanted as much wind as possible in this scenario. So, what I do here is I'm going to go over the trees with full top spin and as much left side spin as possible. You can see here that I have plenty of fairway to work with. So even if I overpower, I should not fear going into the top rough there. So I'm using quite a bit of overpower combined with as much left curl as possible. And I just miss rolling onto the fairway. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's a little bit dangerous because you're in the rough. But here's the thing. Because we're using a Titan ball, a power 3 ball, even if we roll into the rough like that, look how much distance we have here with our Nirvana. We're at max distance, but we have plenty of top spin if we needed to. But in this situation, I don't need any top spin at all. I'm able to just use left side spin. Still playing at minus 10% elevation. But as you can see here, no trees in the way, just because of the angle that we're at now to approach the green. I like this approach a lot better. And you can see this shot for me worked out much better than shot number 1. But it's up to you on how you want to play. That's the way that I'm playing it moving forward. Okay, hole number 4, 10% at mid-distance of our club. And I'm using the backbone on these par 3s. And right here, I'm using just a sliver of backspin combined with a sliver of left side spin with a navigator ball. Very, very close on this particular hole as well. And we'll kind of show you here where I'm aiming. But again, 10% at medium distance. Okay, so notice my ball guideline is on the right-hand side of the cup, and it's going through the pin. And then right here, I've got my blue ring with a backbone level 10 just barely into the rough. I think that's a really good reference point for everybody to take a look at. Again, we have a sliver of backspin combined with a sliver of left side spin. 10% at mid-distance. And then we come right onto the green, so what should we do moving forward? A couple things. One, you could add elevation to this. You could bump it up to 20% if you wanted to. Or, you could just offset your shot a little bit. Completely up to you. All right, hole number 5. Now, hole number 5, this is the one that I got drops on both of my accounts. And I feel really confident showing everybody how to play this hole. So you're just going to use your extra mile. And for me, I use the Goliath on shot number 2. And I'm playing both shots at 10% elevation. And I'm using a navigator ball. I got 2 bars of backspin combined with a full right side spin, which on the navigators is 1 bar. And then I'm using curl until the right side of my ball covers the adjustment target. So just a little bit of right curl. And as you can see here, it leaves me with plenty of fairway to work with. Now, because I've played this hole so many times in tournaments, I have a pretty good idea of how to approach this particular shot. I was trying to see if there was a rough bump, but that's just too risky. What I do know is that when you take this shot, the ball kicks to the right-hand side, just naturally the way this course plays. So look at my backspin here. I'm using a little bit more than 2 bars of backspin, but this is the important part. Look at where I'm aiming. I'm aiming in that dark green square there to the left of the pin, and I'm favoring the left-hand side of that dark green square just because, like I said, the ball kicks to the right just a little bit. And we drop that in for an extra eagle. Huge, huge advantage on this hole because a lot of people are not going to get it, all right? This is my other account, a higher level Goliath, but same type of deal. Just sitting there using a little bit more than 2 bars of backspin. Kind of aiming in the exact same spot here that I did on that last shot. Drop it in the hole again. So, good luck with this one. I hope you're able to get it, but at least that gives you a really good strategy on how to approach this hole. Now we move on to hole number 6. Now I'm going to tell you a couple things about hole number 6. You can play this with whatever ball you want to. You could do a Quasar. I would do that for the side spin. You could do a Katana. You could do a Titan. You could do a Kingmaker. I'm using a Kingmaker solely because of shot number 2. If you use a power 3 ball on shot number 2, you're going to be able to use backspin for the albatross, which I like a lot better than having to use topspin, okay? So here we go. Hole number 6, 20% elevation. And what I'm doing here is I want my ball, and I want your ball, to end up being at the top right-hand side of the fairway. So this right here is pretty much what your ball guidelines should look like when you go to take your drive. Notice how we're going to be favoring the right-hand side of this fairway here. It's really important that you get up high and up to the right. It's most important that you land on the fairway, so don't sacrifice, being dangerous. But you can see here, I even used a baby amount of right curl. And this ball really comes in exactly where I want it to. This is a perfect drive situation to be in. Now, here's what I like about shot number 2. I want you to play shot number 2 at 15% elevation, and I want you to play it at max distance of your club. This is where the Kingmaker comes in handy on this hole. 2 reasons. One, because of the extra power, you're going to be able to use backspin towards the pin. And it's going to reduce the wind a little bit. 15% elevation at max. Notice I use a little bit more than 2 bars of backspin. Okay? And let's take a look at exactly where I aimed. So I aimed just a tad on the right-hand side of the cup. And that was not intentional, okay? That's just where it ended up being. So you can see with 3.1 miles an hour there, I still moved about 4.5 rings. Is that right? Let's take a look. Oh, 3.6. What am I talking about? Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Not 4.5. Right there. So yellow is 1, orange is 2, blue is 3. So 3.6 rings on 3.1 miles an hour. And then take a look at where this shot comes in. So, for the people who really pay attention to the detail in the video here, you might be able to albatross this just by taking a look at my miss, because the speed is really good, and I just barely missed to the right-hand side. So what can we do? So let's take a look at it. So if I go down to 10%, 3.4, if I aim dead center, that might be good enough for the drop, okay? So let's think about that one. Let's go ahead and play this one 10%, everybody, and aim dead center. And it looks like if we'd have took off just a little bit of the adjustment, we would have been okay. Now, I've always played this hole at 15% in tour play, one-on-one play. But right here, with this wind angle, it looks like 10% is going to be the best way to play it. Okay, on to hole number 7. Now, hole number 7 is very easy to get a hole-in-one on. The biggest thing that you want to do here is you want to play your wind 1 for 1. So in this situation, you can see the wind is 3 miles an hour. We're going to move our rings 3 rings. And I just want you to spin towards the hole. That's it. So notice here, I'm using a little bit more than 1 bar of top spin. So right here, what's that, about 1.2, 1.3 bars of top spin. And notice how I'm leaving it just a little bit short of the pin of the cup and just a smidge to the left. The reason I'm doing that is because we're getting tailwind mixed with crosswind to the right. So just naturally, when this ball touches down, the wind is going to push us to the right and it's going to push us forward a little bit. And you can see here, we're dead center. This is a way to play this hole no matter what the wind is. So moving forward into the next rounds, you're always going to play this hole 1 for 1, okay? And you're going to spin to the hole and then take your shot. Hole number 8 is a hole that I have eagled very, very, very few times. And I'm talking about I've played thousands of games on Tour 8. And very few times have I eagled this hole. But in this situation, we're going to use a katana. We don't have to use any elevation. And the only reason I'm using a katana is just to get a lot of side spin to the right. This is a very simple drive. This is a very simple approach. All we're looking to do is just push the ball up the fairway here. And just look at this for shot number 2. Shot number 2, no elevation, okay? You want to take it with your sniper, and then I always just go max backspin. I apply a little bit of right side spin, and ultimately, I'm just trying to get this ball guideline to come down the green here and pick up some speed. And as you can see here, I'm pretty far to the left of the cup, so I'll have to use some right curl in order to try to get this ball into the hole. Again, this is an extremely difficult eagle to pick up, but it is a very safe birdie, and I don't really think anybody's going to screw this hole up. Now, hole number 9 is one we need to talk about. So there's going to be probably 3 different shots on this hole, okay? You're going to go 10% elevation shot 1, 0% for shot 2, 10% for shot number 3. All right, I hope everybody's finding this video helpful. If so, please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up button. And again, you can find out how to donate to the channel in the comments section below. So hole number 9 here, we're going to use quite a bit of backspin because we don't want to go too far with our drive into the rough. If you do that, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed to birdie the hole. So we have to land on the fairway here. And shot number 2, we're taking with a big dog just so we can get as much power as possible. You can definitely play shot number 2 with a sniper, no problem. But again, I'm trying to get as much distance as possible on shot number 2. That's why I'm using a big dog. All right, then from here, obviously, we're going to go max top spin. And again, we're just trying to just power the ball as far up here as possible into that shadowy area. You can see I did not use a lot of overpower. You don't need to use a lot of overpower because you don't want to mess up the shot with the big dog. You don't want to end up in the rough. But landing right here is perfect. You can see the shot is definitely downhill. That's why we're playing a shot number 3 with 10% elevation. I made this shot right here. I missed it on my other account because I hit a great shot to the left. But as you can see, I'm just using a little bit of backspin. I'm making sure that my ball guideline tail is going through the pin. Just because we're getting a little bit of headwind, so we don't want to come up short, which is easy to do when you're using a thorn combined with headwind. I pulled this one 10% elevation at mid-distance of my thorn. As you can see here, the speed is perfect. We smack the pin dead center. We pick up a tougher eagle on a par 5. So there it is. There is qualifying day number 1. Good luck, everybody, and let's head into round number 2 on Thursday and wait for that video to come out before you play.